we are making turkey burgers for dinner. The important part about burgers is you want a really hot pan so that you get that perfect sear on the outside. So I'm going to turn the heat on before I even start mixing and let it heat up that pan. Alright, I have about 1.5 pounds of ground turkey. To that I'm going to add an egg and mix it thoroughly. I do all my mixing with my hands because it gets me a feel for the texture of the burger. So I put on gloves. I also put on gloves because I had an incident with a glue gun and I have a band-aid on one finger, and the last thing you want to do is lose a band-aid in the middle of your cooking. Alright, so turkey is a really lean meat. So one of the first things that you have to do after the egg, because the egg is just a binder to keep it together, is to add fat back into it. So we use Miracle Whip in our house because that's my husband's favorite. But you can add whatever you'd like. And then I add, that's about 1/4 cup of Miracle Whip for 1.5 pounds of turkey. I have 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs, but I don't always use it all. I'm going to add it to it about 1/4 cup at a time and see how the texture of it feels. If I get everything to the consistency that I want, then I don't need to add any more breadcrumbs. But sometimes it's still too loose, so it won't bind together. You see how it's still not sticking together? We're going to need to add just a little bit more breadcrumbs. So I think that's about 2/3 cup, 1/3 of a cup. Alright, that's good. And then we are cheese people in my family, so I add some Colby Jack cheese in as well before I cook the burgers, that way it gets that moisture in. Most people, when they make turkey burgers, will complain that they are too dry. So, and that's because it's a low-fat meat. It's very lean, which is good for you, but you get to choose how much fat to add back in. Alright, so now we are going to take our turkey patties and we are going to form them. You can make these as thick or as thin, as big as you want. My family likes thin patties, so I tend to smash them. If you have a burger former, feel free to use it. We just don't in our house because we're a little strange. So we're going to take this over to the heated pan and get our burgers started. Alright, so 3 of us are having burgers tonight. I got 1 down. There's 2. The other important thing with turkey burgers is you don't smash them. You merely lay them in the pan and let them cook. You're going to get a good sear on the first side, and then we're going to flip them over, get a sear on the second side, and then we finish them off in the oven because that lets it cook to the right temperature. Okay, we cook for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side, and then we're going to flip them over. You see how that's nice sear on that end? You can put these on a grill. It's just hot in Texas, so I don't go outside. We're going to get the sear on the other side, and then we're going to put them on our stoneware and put them in a 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes to make sure they're cooked all the way through. Okay, our burgers have cooked for 4 minutes on one side, 3 on the other. Just flip them over and make sure that they've got that nice sear on them. We're going to put them on our stoneware. Turn this stove off and pop them in the oven for about, we're going to check at 15 minutes. If they're cooked all the way through, then we're ready to go. If they're not, we'll put them in for longer. So our burgers were in the oven for 15 minutes. What we do now is slice them open, make sure that they're no longer any pink in the middle. So you see that brown? That's a perfectly cooked turkey burger. And now all we have to do is find out how everybody wants their burgers made. And then we'll have dinner.